Hello. All right. So today we are going to learn how to do this. And I'm going to teach you through this and hopefully go quickly so it doesn't take too much of your time. And this is just a um, like practice, I guess, because you're going to be making your own cartoon character. So, what do you want to make? What is it going to look like? I am going to have some expectations for you, but we'll talk about that later. But anyway, we're going to make a cartoon character today, and I'm just going to teach you a couple different things so that you can change it and work on your preference if you would like. So, this is what I'm going to make, and we're going to remake it right now. I'm going to do File New. I'm cool with just a regular paper. Okay, I'm going to first of all label my layer, and I'm going to double click here and I'm going to say face because I need to know what I'm doing, and you have to know what you're doing. For our cartoon, we're going to mostly use simple shapes, and I'm going to use an oval here. And right now my oval is sort of default set to a white fill and a black outline. I'm actually going to take, or stroke, I'm going to take the stroke away. I don't want it. So it's white, but I do want it to be a gradient. So I'm not going to go over here because this is where we manipulate things or change things. This is where we can add color and stuff like that. So I'm going to go to my gradient tool. If your gradient tool is not up, go to window, and then everything you would need is here. So my gradient tool is over on the side, so I don't necessarily need to grab it. I'll just come over here. So this is your gradient tool if you have it. And I'm going to double click, and here it is. I want it to be a radial gradient instead of a linear. So I'm going to click on this. I also don't want black on the outside. So I'm going to click here because I want it to be sort of a white to light gray. And I'm going to erase that, bring this all the way over, bring a little bit more. I'm changing how much of the white I have. I just want my gray to sort of be soft on the outside. We're going to leave it like that because I like that. But what I want to do is I want to make my edges really soft. If I click out of here, I have really hard edges. And maybe you want that, but I'm going to teach you how to make them soft. So I don't have a stroke on here, and that's one reason why I don't have a stroke is because I want to make my edges soft. I'm going to come up to Effect. I'm going to go to Blur, and then Gaussian blur. And from here, you want to make sure you have preview clicked so you know what it's going to look like. From here, I can move it, and you can see it's sort of changed. It really changed. You can tell the difference there. I don't want it to be that much, but I sort of want a little bit of a outside blur on mine, like that. I'm gonna click out of it and double check. Looks good. So it looks sort of like you're not in focus, right? But that's what I wanted. I'm going to, from here, I'm going to lock this layer because I've got my face shape done. And I'm gonna lock it so that it doesn't move. I can't do anything to it because it's locked. I'm then going to start to make the ears. And I'm gonna use the ellipse tool again. I need to create a new layer. And I'm gonna label it ears. Eats, not eats, ears. There we go. And because I have a new layer and it's not locked, I'm able to work on it. I'm going to create the ears here. I'm going to move it this way. I'm also going to change my gradient. I'm going to double click on this, and I want it to be like a darker gray. I don't really want it to be white, but I want it to be a darker gray. And I'm going to make it a little bit more dark on the outside. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the inside of the ear, and actually want it to be, I can't do that because I want that to stay. All right, so we're going to make the inside of the ear. I'm going to start to make a circle here like that. I think I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. There we go. I also want to manipulate it. So I am taking my direct selection tool. I'm going to click on one of the vector points and just sort of manipulate the inside a little bit so it's not a perfect circle. I don't want that to be another gradient, so I'm going to make it black. Like that. I want to then group this together. So I right clicked and I click group. I'm going to copy it, Control C, and paste it, Control V, because I'm going to have my second ear be the same thing, except I want it to be reflected. So I'm going to right click, transform, reflect, keep it vertical. Okay. Now I have my ears. All right, and they look sort of in the same spot. I want to blur both of these. So I'm going to click on one, I'm going to press Shift and click on the other. Effect, blur, Gaussian blur again, and it automatically goes to what this was. I don't want it that much. I actually just want it a little bit. So I'm going to go down in the 3s. I just want it to be a little fuzzy. I'm going to check that out. I like it. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to press Shift again, and I'm going to send these guys to the back because I want them to be behind. Arrange, sorry. Send to back. Oh, wait, that's not working. So I can move this up. All right, so send it to back. It looks like I want these guys to be up a little bit. So I'm just using my arrow key. Here we go. I like that. So I can lock this layer too. And then I can make a new layer. I'm going to say eyes. Just like with my ears, I'm going to make one and then I'm going to copy another one. So I want that to be black. Oh, it's underneath. You know why we can't see it? Because it's underneath the face. So I got to move my face layer down. There we go. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. And then I'm going to make another. Oh, wait. I always do that. I always start manipulating things before I make my other shape. So there's my one shape. I'm going to make another circle for the inside. But I don't want it to be black. I want it to be white. That's why it was messing. And I don't want an outline to it either. So I'm going to take this, put it on here, make it a little bit bigger. All right. I'm going to make another circle. Because again, this is what I want to do. It may not be what you want to do, but I'm just making it like this. And then I'm going to make another little ellipse here, another little circle. I'm going to make it white. And I'm going to take it, move it in here to make a little highlight. And that's what I'm going to have my eye look like. I like it like that. If I wanted to, I could add an eyebrow, an eyelid. I'm just going to keep it like this. So again, I'm going to, because all of these layers are locked, I can do this. If these layers are not locked, then if I click and drag, I'm going to be selecting everything. But because they're locked, I just select this. I'm going to right click, arrange. Oh, not arrange, sorry, group, it's all the way up here. Sorry, and right click it and group it. So now all of these things are together and I don't have to worry about messing with them so much. I'm gonna do Control C, Control V again, so I get a second eyeball and I want to reflect it. Or if you don't reflect it, it just looks like my bear is looking over here instead of looking at us. So I'm going to transform, reflect, vertical, okay. Here we go. All right. Couple more steps and then we are done. I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to lock my eye layer and this is going to, this is going to be our nose. This one, I'm going to make it black. There we go. I'm going to take it, make it more like this. Bring it over. I want to manipulate it again. So I'm going to bring it up and bring this up and in. So I have a little bit of a nose there. And then I'm going to make 2 little circles that go underneath here. And I actually am going to lock that and I'm going to label this like nose 2. Just is going to work a little bit easier. And I'm going to put these below it. So I can drag this layer to wherever I want. I'm going to put it underneath the nose because I want these to go behind my nose shape. All right. I'm going to test out my shape here. Might be too big. We got to change the color so we can actually see it. And actually I want it, if you ever let's back up. If I ever double click and I can't, like, everything goes like grayish or changes, what happened is you sort of like masked it or put it in isolation mode, which you can see over here in my layers. To get out of that, just go to the triangle and then you're out. So I'm going to select this and I want it to be a gradient actually. And I'm going to have it be more of a, oh, actually I like that gradient. It's like the ears. Not bad. Have it be a little bit darker though. There we go. I want to take a look at that, and I am actually going to zoom in. I like that, except it's too big because it's going to overlap. So I got to make it a little bit smaller for right now. We'll see. Okay. I am going to then, I want to make it sort of like look like a little bit of a shadow is underneath it. So I'm going to take this circle and I'm going to do Control C, Control V. I'm going to put it here. And I am actually going to change the color to a dark gray. Hopefully darker than what it is. And I'm going to send it behind. So right click, arrange, send backward, not all the way to the back because that would send it behind everything. But if I send it backward, it's underneath this. And actually it needs to be darker. Oh man, double clicked it again. Needs to be darker. So I'm going to click that. There we go. Now you can see that a little bit. And I'm going to take this, select both, again, right click and group them. And then I'm going to Control C, Control V. And then I'm going to reflect it. So transform, reflect, vertical. I'm going to put these, this is out a little bit more. So there's my little nose. And then what I could do if I wanted to is take my paintbrush, make it white. Oh, I got to change the stroke. Make it white. Or I could have used black. Either way. And I can make like little dots on here. It looks like too many though. So I'm going to Control Z. I want to keep it simple. We're going to keep it simple. And just do 3 little dots here for like the little whisker area. I'm going to try to cover this up without having to undo it. Great. And here is my cartoon. So we've manipulated some shapes, the ears and the nose. We've taken shapes and we've added gradients on them. We've learned how to blur them. And that is it. And so what I would do is I would save it and turn it in.